one day, a young boy said to me, "Why don't you photograph graffiti?" And he opened his notebook, and he had these drawings in his notebook, and he showed me that he put the drawing on the wall. And I'm like, "You mean you designed the pieces? You designed this before you put it?" I mean, for me, I thought it was pure vandalism. And the minute that I understood that there was a systematic designing and painting on the wall, I became fascinated by it.
I'm kind of curious now about my awareness of Richard Hamilton. I mean, it is work that I know from the early 70s. I was aware of pop. I mean, pop was as a teenager growing up in Manchester, it was an aesthetic which I could understand. And so I would look at pop books. I read enough to kind of understand Richard Hamilton's place as perhaps the godfather of pop. And I remember particularly in a book seeing Hamilton's definition of pop and the 10 or 11 kind of criteria: sexy, mass-produced, disposable, big business, glamorous. That made a very big impression upon me. This particular work by Hamilton, this is the toaster. It's a screen print, litho print. It has a foil applied. I knew it first probably round about 75. I saw it in a book in Manchester Polytechnic Graphics Department in the library, and it was in a pop art book. It might have even been a Hamilton book, I don't know. I became aware what influence it had been on me a long time later, like 25 years later. I saw it that day and realised.
When I've got something I'm worried about, I always go and talk to Gary, because I'm used to Gary's my best friend. Where's your wooden spoons, Gaz?
Pardon?
Wooden spoons.
In that one. They were in that one.
We're totally different. Gary would rather go home and have a quiet night in, and where I'd rather be dashing about the Trafford Centre or Tesco's. That's a best ain't a wooden spoon.
Swear. So are you very familiar with your kitchen, Gary?
No, not really. There's no kitchen in the world without a wooden spoon.
Do you know Gary only hates the rooms that he lives in?
He's been reading too many magazines.
We used to share rooms when we used to go away with the teams. It got to the point where Gary was going to bed at 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I was watching the telly, still awake, on the phone to Victoria at 11:30, 12, and then he'd be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'd want to lie until 10, 11. So it didn't really work out, so he chucked me out.
Couple?
Yeah, like the old married couple. Tremendous pasta, isn't it?
Thanks for eating all or what?
No, you don't have to eat.